Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2025. All the best for the new year. I guess I could probably explain my absence. Last year I made a whopping 5 videos. So 5 videos in the whole year. And that's a lot less than I was hoping to make last year. And I'll go into why. Just over 16 years ago, my family and I left Scotland and headed for Canada. And we set up a life there and, met and worked with some great people who became friends and just had a brilliant time in Canada. Canada's a wonderful country. We did spend a lot of time in southern Ontario, and that's where these pictures are from. I'll put up on the screen there. So we lived in Niagara Falls in Canada, and I mean, if you're gonna go and live somewhere, you got to live somewhere nice, I suppose. So we chose Niagara Falls because it was near where I was working at the time, and so we didn't leave there. We essentially set up shop in Niagara Falls. There was a bunch of tech layoffs last year, and my company that I worked for at the time was part of those tech layoffs, and so there was a bunch of us laid off in February 2024. And we've been talking about it for a while, my wife and I, about coming back to Scotland, family reasons and all that kind of stuff. And we decided, push come to shove, this is obviously the shove that we needed. And so I basically sold up everything that I had, and I came back early. I came back in March-ish last year, which meant that everything that I owned ended up going into a packing container, including this setup that I'm sitting in front of you with. So I basically had no chance really to make videos during that time. I think I managed a couple late. Was one in May, I think, last year was the last one I actually did for the year, and then I made kind of a couple of sporadic ones about. There was a taking a break one in March, that kind of thing. So I didn't have my kit basically, so I couldn't make videos. And so it's been sort of a while to get settled here, find a place to move into, which we obviously have now. We're still in the process of moving in, which is why these shelves behind me are bare, and just kind of setting up everything. So basically setting up our life again in Scotland. So yeah, we're back in Scotland, back in the west coast of Scotland. Obviously, being a Ouija, that's obviously where we were headed anyway. So we're back here, so that's it. So it's been a 16-mile round trip to come back to this part of the world. But yeah, we're here, and so more videos this year. Nothing. Nothing really stopping me from creating videos. Actually, just need to get back into the swing of things. Because what if you've been away from something for so long? It's actually quite difficult to get back into it. And making this video as well this is about the third or fourth attempt I've been making this video. It's not even a sad video. It's not one of those kind of woe is me type things. It's just these things happen, and we're coming, we're bouncing back from what happened to us. But these, what doesn't kill us make us stronger and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's fine. It's like everything's fine. Everything's okay. Other than that, so it's just me being lazy and not trying to, not being able to figure a way to get back into the saddle of making videos. But hopefully, this will get me kicked off. And get me sort of thinking about things. I've already been building a couple of games in my off time when I was looking for work. So in the evenings I was making a couple of things inside Monogame. One of them was an adventure game engine, so a text adventure game, or interactive fiction I think they call them now. It's been inspired by this book, and I'll hopefully remember to put it up on the video there, and the link in the description for it. It's a fantastic book. I was sitting reading it, and I was like, I've never built a text adventure engine, and I thought I'll go and build one. So that's what I ended up doing. So I'll show you through here. I made it was a game about you're the doctor's companion and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, it was a conversation I was having with my daughter at the time. So it's a full parser. The code is already up on. If you go to codehoose.com, that takes you directly to the GitHub repository, and so all the projects I've got there, all the public repository I've got there, are up. And you can download them. And the second game was a nonogram game, because I was like, I've never built a nonogram game. I want to build a nonogram game, and so I set about building that. So the nonogram game was actually the one where I was like, you know what, I keep making these games where it's like, oh, I got to build the framework first, and I've got to build the engine and blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. And I thought, that's not really like that's the trap I get into when I do game jams. And so that's when I thought to myself, maybe doing it that method is not a good way of doing it. And so when I was doing the adventure game one, I actually didn't build it that way. I built it from I'm building this very strict system that this will only do one thing and one thing only. And what I ended up with was an adventure game engine, which is kind of cool. But that's not what I set out to make. So that was a kind of valuable lesson for me, is like when I'm building a game, don't think of the reuse factor in it, especially for these videos. And I need to kind of pare that down. I've thought about this for a while, but this is sort of a kind of wake up call, is like, just build it for this particular game. Don't worry about reuse. All that being said, 2025, I'm hoping to put out more than 5 videos this year, and hopefully this will not be the last one of this year. But until then, thank you very much, everyone who's sticking by me. I have been trying to answer your comments in the previous videos, so anytime you comment on a previous video of mine, I will endeavour to answer it if I see it coming up in YouTube Studio. But yeah, thank you so much again for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and you'll get a timely reminder when I put a new video up. And if you like this video, you may as well give it a thumbs up as well. But I will see you soon with a new video game project in Unity. I don't know what that is yet, but we'll figure it out together. So thanks again. Cheers. Bye-bye.